This is not a sponsored video. Hey guys, happy Friday. Sorry that this is a little bit more of an evening post, but hey, I said I'd upload on Fridays. I didn't tell you what time on Fridays. It's still Friday. The reason things are a little bit crazy this week is I'm actually moving, so things are a little like that. It's really good. But today we're doing things a little bit differently. I'm gonna be talking to you about my 3 favorite lenses. Now this isn't like a countdown list or anything because these lenses all perform very different things, and most important to me is that these lenses have been through a ton of shoots with me, and I've taken some of my favorite pictures ever with them. I've also taken a ton of video on them too. So instead of a countdown, I'm gonna explain to you why these lenses mean a ton to me, why they're special to me, and what kind of things they've been through, what I've used them for, and how they've managed to secure a spot in every camera bag I've ever owned. Alright guys, enough talking, let's get into it. So first up on our list here we have the Zeiss 55mm f1.8 for the Sony Alpha systems. I actually picked up an international version of the lens because it was much cheaper, and yeah, it doesn't have a warranty, but I trust myself with it. And it's a beautiful compact lens. It's actually the only Sony lens that I own. It looks really great on the A7S, and it's nice to see a lens that's designed for the camera. It's the right size, it doesn't make the camera all top heavy, and it looks damn good. The lens itself, beautiful construction, it's all metal, it's very solid. Again, you know, I'm not gonna try throwing it down the stairs, but I think it would be fine. And the sharpness is just amazing. This is probably the sharpest lens I own. The bokeh is breathtaking. At f1.8 you get some amazing stuff, and paired on the A7S to kick something open at f1.8 at night, you can basically see in the dark. The autofocus is alright, it's pretty accurate. I am on the first generation A7S though, so I'm sure autofocus has since improved, but it's not really the end of the world either. This lens has also been with me on a ton of video shoots. It's perfect for nighttime stuff. The only drawback about this lens is that it has a fly-by-wire focusing system, meaning that the focus ring just keeps going. It doesn't have like a distance scale where it'll stop, it's just gonna keep spinning infinitely. But apart from that, it's an amazing lens, and I really love the stuff that I've done with it. Here's a few more shots with the 55 f1.8. The next one we're going to talk about is the Rokinon 14mm f2.8. This one's a little interesting. It's very niche. It doesn't have a ton of applications in my everyday shooting, but it always stays in my camera bag. And a lot of my friends can attest to the fact that I say it's the coolest lens that I use 3 times a year. That's a bit of an exaggeration. I do use it more than 3 times a year, and yes, it is truly deserving of the title of one of my favorite lenses. Now this lens is crazy wide, and the f2.8 lets in a nice amount of light. It's really great for night photography, and in fact that's the reason I bought this lens in the first place. After I started getting more serious about astrophotography, this was the lens I gravitated towards. This was oh my god, gravitated, that was unintentional. This lens really opened up the possibilities for my night shooting, because before that I was just using a kit lens. And don't get me wrong, you guys know me, I'm not the type of person to really attribute, oh, a new piece of gear made me better. It really came with the fact that I was also practicing for a year before I upgraded to this lens. So when I took the skills that I started developing from the kit lens and moved up to this one, the possibilities really expanded and I was able to start taking better shots with it. Partially because of the better gear, partially because of my experience. And I gotta say, this isn't a phenomenal lens either. I mean, the corners, whew, don't look at them. They really do suffer from a ton of barrel distortion as well as vignetting. That kind of makes me think of this little aside here. Deadass Mario, who's been featured on this channel before, one time we were talking about some photos I shot of him, and he was trying to tell me that I should put some vignette in his image, and he referred to it as vigilante, as in you should add a little bit of vigilante to the image. But anyway, this lens is really special to me. It's traveled with me to a bunch of places. It's been to Arizona, West Virginia, Costa Rica, and Maine, and I'm probably forgetting others, but it's been around and it's seen the Milky Way with me. I mean, shit, that was the first time I ever shot the Milky Way was on that lens. And in terms of video, it's come in handy in weird places. I mean, just last week I was shooting a music video for my friend's band, and I ended up using it in his house because we wanted to have this guy do a kickflip in front of the drum set. It was the perfect choice because in that tight space, it really did stretch everything out and give me the room I needed to show the dude doing the kickflip. Also, that music video is going to be pretty cool. So while this is a pretty specialized lens and I almost exclusively use it for astrophotography, it is always in my camera bag because you never know when a lens like that's going to come in handy. It's a pretty great lens and that's about it. The last lens I'm going to talk about is the Canon 24-105 f4L. It's a long name, yeah, but I gotta say this is the first L series lens I ever bought, and it's amazing. This lens is so convenient. Let's start with the focal range. 24-105 is a really insane reach. You can go wide and you can get pretty damn tight as well. The sharpness is amazing on this lens, and I gotta say, before I got my 24 f1.4, this was the lens I used on virtually every single video I made. Just out of sheer quality and convenience, I was able to just pop it on and be good. I didn't really have to switch lenses too much. The one thing about the lens I'm not crazy about is the f4 aperture, because just sometimes you need that extra light coming in. But I will say, once I started adapting this onto my A7S, holy shit, a world of possibilities opened up there. And that's why it's been used in so many of my videos. If you go over to Nailed It Network, which is the channel where I make short films, most of the series Cure was filmed on that single lens. So for that alone, that lens is very special to me.
It doesn't put a stop to the infection, it simply jump-starts the consciousness.
Tell me where the cure is or I'm gonna blow your fucking head off. I did what I had to do. I'm never gonna let anyone hurt you again, Amy.
In terms of shooting weddings, it's my go-to as well. I love the ability to just, in a second, go from a wide to a telephoto without switching anything. But to me, this is the ultimate walk-around lens. If I just grab my camera to go on a walk, this is the lens that's on it. If I'm traveling, this is the lens that's on it. And with its weatherproof, rugged design, I don't even have to worry about the rain or the snow. It's been through the elements, and this lens is still kicking ass. The image stabilizer is pretty amazing too. I will admit, however, that after 3 years of constant use, that image stabilizer has gotten a little noisy. And the autofocus, spot on. I mean, I rarely miss a shot if I'm using the autofocus. This lens, of course, isn't exclusive to Canon. You know, Sigma and Tamron make one, Sony makes one, Nikon makes one. The fact is, you can get this lens on whatever system you use. And between the range and the quality and the image stabilizer, you can't go wrong. I really love this lens. And here is some more stuff I've shot with it. So that's it, those are my 3 favorite lenses in no particular order. They've secured a special place in my heart and a special place in my camera bag. So what do you guys think? Are some of these your favorite lenses too? Or try and sell me on some other ones. Maybe I'll try them out and talk about them in a later video. And once again guys, apologies, I am moving and this is a later video, and next Friday might be a little bit later too, you know, but we're still hitting that Friday. So, hey. That's all that matters. Alright guys, you know what to do. Smash subscribe, hit like, share the video, and I'll see you in the next one. These fucking planes. So instead of giving you a this is my first favorite, second favorite, third favorite, I'm actually going to just... So instead of a countdown, I'm actually going to just explain to you why these lenses mean a ton of... Jesus, these planes! So first up on our, but it looks great on, so yeah, apart from, that's a bit of an exaggeration, because it was there with me as I was learning things. My fucking god. And I gotta say, don't... Fuck! That kind of makes me... Oh my god, dude. Live in the noisiest fucking neighborhood. But anyway, this lens really is special to me. It was... I mean, hell, that was the first time I ever shot them. God damn it! It's kind of niche, I'll admit it, but you know... Oh, God, dude, you suck. So while this lens is very specialized and I mainly use it for astrophotography, it's always been in my bag. It's really... God! Lens, and